The job, other than this one, I thought you were sort of on the fence about it. Actually, you're like, yeah, maybe.
The local job?
Yeah, yeah. I would either expect, you know what, I'm so wedded into getting a management training program that I probably want to stick with that, or look, I don't know a lot about it, but I would never say no to a good opportunity. So I saw sort of middle of the roadishness on it. What I did like was your answer on, well, I don't know what the other one makes, but you definitely gave me the impression that you're interested.
Okay.
You definitely gave me the impression that you're interested, but I think there's no harm in saying, hey, if it's right, yeah, I'd consider it. When I started, I wanted to get into a management training program. I didn't consider any job that didn't have a good management training program. So if I'd been asked that question when I came out of college, I would have said, actually, no. I've made up my mind that I want to get into a really good management training program as my first step. But most people would, so I think, you just got to decide, because you will get, sooner or later, you're going to get thrown a question like that. You're interviewing for this, but would you consider that? Or you're interviewing for Toledo, Ohio, would you consider, Eufaula, Alabama? Whatever it is, they're going to throw a curveball at you once in a while, especially if they like you, because then all of a sudden they start thinking about you maybe for other things. So
I did want to say middle of the road because I didn't want them to exclude me from the GROW program. Because GROW program is multiple positions, you're taking one position. If you don't get me for that, and then you've taken me out, so I want you to keep me and think about me for both, so that I'm not losing out on any.
No, I'm nitpicking.
But okay, so
I'm
next time I would have
nitpicking.
said, okay, so if I could have said, that's why I was like, well, I defer to, to you
Yeah,
as to where
you
you
did.
think I would fit best. But,
Yeah, you definitely left open the interest.
okay.
I love that you talked about, when in the Best Buy job, you were involved in establishing performance standards and setting expectations. You told me about what you did and how you created structure and how you addressed that. Those are really good things. And I liked the way when I asked about your employment law, you went into quite a lot of detail about how the program is structured, that, people with real experience taught it, that you did the investigative work.
I totally
Felt-
made that up.
Good. But the point is, if you said, yeah, it's 2 classes, I would have been like, great, okay, she probably doesn't know a lot, but she's taken the coursework, but no practical experience. But if you're a criminal justice major and say, hey, look, we spent, 8 weeks in the sheriff's office, interviewing criminals or whatever, that feels different to me. It's a course, so where you have practical experience in your coursework, which happens a lot, most people take a class and they go home, they take the exam and that's it. But where you have coursework that's hands-on, use that and say, look, I didn't just go to school, I did it hands-on or whatever. So
That's the benefit of not doing online.
that's pretty much all I've got. That's good.
All right. Well, class.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Really appreciate your time.
Oh, glad to do it.
And I'll definitely, follow up with you and appreciate it. Oh, let me ask you this. If I sent you, okay, because you talk about follow-up letters, right? And you say,
Yeah.
okay, well, if I send a follow-up letter, it just gets lost.
Yep.
So if I emailed it to you versus mailed it to you, which would be a venue that would get more attention? Or even if you don't read it, if you just know I sent it and therefore I'm interested.
Well, one, if you email it, I would follow it up with a hard copy.
Okay.
One. But two, what I do, and what works for me is, it's really hard to get to me without my administrative assistant. So when I walk out, typically somebody is going to walk you from the interview back out or say something. Carolina, my administrator, says, hey, the way out, you got a ride, you want some water, she'll say something, right? Say, hey, listen, would it be okay if I sent you the letter? I want to do a follow-up letter. Build a rapport. One is, if you ever want to get through to me again, you're going to have to go with Carolina. Two, chances are she's closer to your age than I am, and so you can build a rapport and say, look, I want to send Hans a follow-up letter. Would it be okay if I send it to your attention and you would see that he gets it? Which leads me to the other thing, if you got 5 minutes outside the door, chat up the administrative assistant, say, hi, I'm Hans, how you doing? Don't ignore them. They tend to control a lot more of the office than you would give them credit for.
I tell them be nice to the janitors and the admins. They really.
The other thing is what you don't know either
Okay.
is that I'm still employed by DHL, but not really. Taking a new job in March. You know this already?
You told me.
I did, okay. I did tell you. But I'm still employed with DHL until March, but I'm on a sabbatical. They sent me home and said I can't talk to customers because I'm going to work for a competitor, so it's great. So they pay me to stay home until March.
For 6 months, isn't that great?
Right, so
I'm in.
that's why I got the long hair, the beard thing going. But the reason I didn't give up my business cards, which you can, all of you, send me an email if you have any questions or anything. It's shao@yahoo.com. Okay, so my DHL address doesn't work, but if you have any questions or if there's anything I can help you with, I'd be glad to answer it. Okay?
All right, well, thank you.
Great.
Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
She's really good. Listen to her.
Thank you so
And
much.
take notes during the interview, right?
Absolutely. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Nice meeting you.
Bye.
Okay, hopefully that was a value-added exercise for you. Yes? Good. Okay, I think you guys are ready for a break. So go ahead, take a 10, come back. We're gonna talk about what should be in the follow-up letter, and then we're gonna go over basic interview questions, okay? And we'll call it a night. Bye-bye. 10 minutes. Come back at 40.